I recognise that I live and work in a privileged community. So I'm going to show you the easel that I use, and then I'll show you a couple of other easels that you might be able to get your hands on, and ideally how you can make your own easel. Now I might say from the onset that even though I've got a big studio, it's I know people have got larger studios and better studios, but I'm lucky because I've got carpet I've just thrown on the floor, I've got heating, I've got air conditioning, and I have very good lighting. So I realise I'm very, very lucky, and you may not have that. But I might say that some of the best art I've ever produced was when I was in the worst possible situation, where I had very poor conditions. For example, a long time ago I was working in a very, very small shed, just a little garden shed, tiny, tiny, tiny little thing, working at a table, and I had one light coming in, no natural light, and I produced my best work for sure. So the best facilities don't mean the best work. So first off, we'll have a look at this easel that I've got, the large studio easel, and I'm going to show you shortly how you can make your own version of this, and I'll show you some other different types of easels that you might be able to get your hands on, but if you can't, I'll show you some alternatives. Now the benefit of having a large easel like this is you can put some very big heavy works on it, but you don't need a great big one like this. Essentially what this does is it holds the painting in place. I can tilt it at different angles, and it's very solid and it's on wheels, and I can move it around my studio. But let's have a look at a couple of other alternatives. There's a lot of different variations of this one. Mostly I've had folding tripod portable easels similar to this, but I've just sold a lot of those because I don't use them that often. They're quite heavy. This is made from aluminium. It all folds up like so. Screw it down here. Now I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because you may not be able to get your hands on one, but I'm just showing you how it kind of works. It's got these little legs go up here, these little holders go up here. Oh, obviously I haven't used it one for some time. And essentially it hangs on here, the legs can be extended, and the top of the painting is held on here. So you may not be able to get your hands on one of those. Another sort of easel that you might see, certainly on YouTube or elsewhere, is the French box easel. So I'll show you that next. This is the box easel, and as I said earlier, it's unlikely that you're going to be able to get your hands on one of these. The value of one of these is that it's portable. You can put all your paints in there, and effectively you can either use this on a tabletop, get the right angle that you want. Painting goes here, or it's also got legs on it, tripod timber legs, and you can take it anywhere with you. It's quite heavy, but very, very useful and very stable. But let's have a look at the type of easel you're most likely to use. You're most likely to find little tabletop units like this. They're quite cheap, and it's a bit like a miniature version of the big French box easel, but it doesn't have any legs on it, so your paints can go in there and goes in an angle, so on. But once again, you can only use it on a table. But I'll show you another homemade version similar to this. This is a homemade version, a bit of ply on the top here, and piece of timber off here, there's a screw that goes in there, and this just goes in the little grooves here, but it doesn't have to be grooves. If you can't make these grooves in through here, they can be just nails. But the whole point of this is to try and get the right sort of angle for you to work at. But of course, the problem with this too is the canvas it's still not supported on there. It still slips off and it has no legs on it. But that's reasonably simple and easy to make, something like that. But I'll show you something's even more simple and easy to do, and it costs you almost no money. Let's have a look at that. Now, these kind of chairs can be found all over the world. They're folding, they're a little bit heavy, steel, and this is perfect for making an easel. How do we do that? Well, very, very simple. Now, I've purposely got a rough bit of timber, really, really rough, because you may not have access to brand new pieces of timber, and it goes like this. Get a bit of wire, and this wire that I have, it's got rubber coating on it, so it's easy to bend and it feels good, it's got a bit of grip, and this is how I recommend that you make an easel. So, get your bit of timber, tie it on there, and it's simply a matter of getting another chair like this, putting it here, putting your materials there, and away you go. You can paint on there. Now, whoops. Now, that can be moved up or down, and of course if you've got a bigger canvas it's going to be more stable there. If your canvas is not really stable, you can still have a bit of string or tape and tape it onto there. But that's a really easy way to travel around and easy way to make your easel. But I've got another possible solution for you, for much larger works. It is an easel. It seems outrageous. Let's have a look at. Now that's a very big painting. That's well, not a huge painting, but that's 1 metre by 75. Let's have a look at this. Now this is an easel that you could easily make in the village. It comes in 4 parts. Let's have a look at it. Now, first off, this bar that goes across here to hold the canvas on is simply attached by a couple of bits of wire through here. What you'll notice is that you can fold that up, but it also can come completely apart. It has this part at the back here that goes out and it's attached by some string, and so that holds it in place. It's very, very, very stable. Now, the two front parts, just normal bamboo. But the tricky bit is, and I'll bring the camera in a little bit closer, is this part here. So I'll get the camera and bring it up and have a real close look. So it's just a matter of finding a piece of bamboo, like this back section here that has a little fork that goes out that can hold these two in place. And once again, up here, it's held in place just by some of that wire. So it can all be taken apart very, very simply. So it's light, probably free. All you need is a bit of string and some wire, and you're able to paint either at home or take this out in the bush or on the beach or wherever. It's very, very stable, does the job, and is as good as my large studio easel. Okay, to summarise again, you can convert a chair like this to an easel. You can make your own almost out of any materials, bush materials, and do it very, very cheaply. You don't need to go and spend any money on some manufactured easel. Okay, so what you notice is that there's 2 parts that come up through here, and just sits in there, and it's just some wire holding it all together. You'll notice that these bits go way high at the back here, and that's because you can have a very big canvas and that will support a very tall canvas. You need the string on there, tied on there, so then it doesn't fall over. Simple. So let me repeat this again. You don't need any expensive flash easels to go and produce good work. You can convert a little chair like this, you can make your own bamboo easel, you can just simply sit down somewhere and prop it up with a board somehow. Right? There's ways and means of doing this. You don't need to wait till you've got the best gear. You don't need to spend any money. Just go and do it.